Namaskaram. Welcome to day 61 of the Safe Soil Journey. So, just about 40 days left, and today I thought that we'll share about Brahma Muhurtam and how doing sadhana during this time is very conducive for stabilizing the system. So, if you look at the time period of Brahma Muhurtam, so this is something which is the last quarter, just about 1.5 to 2 hours before sunrise. So somewhere between 3:30 to 5:30 or 3:30 to 6 a.m., whatever is the time of sunrise. So the last quarter of the night is called as Brahma Muhurtam, and this period is very conducive because there's a certain change which is happening in our system because of our relationship with the earth and the moon and the sun. So what happens during Brahma Muhurtam is that there's a natural secretion of melatonin, which is basically a secretion of the pineal gland. And you'll see that there are certain experiments which have been done which have proven that physiologically there are a lot of changes which happen in the system during the Brahma Muhurtam time. There have been experiments which have proven that the quality of the waste material like urine, etc., which is produced during this time is very different. There is also a natural secretion of this melatonin, which is basically in modern medicine, it is like a mood stabilizer. So it is very easy for the body to stabilize or to come to ease during Brahma Muhurtam because the pineal gland is secreting to its maximum during this time. So one can so basically it is called as Brahma Muhurtam, which means you can become the creator or you can create yourself the way you want during this time. So it is very conducive for one spiritual sadhana if you can do that during Brahma Muhurtam time. So generally what Sadhguru was mentioning is that between 3:40 to 4 is generally the time when the body naturally comes awake. So if you have been doing some sadhana like yoga asanas or surya kriya, etc., where you can align your system with the sun cycles and the moon cycles, you'll notice this, that it may happen that just at this particular time, somewhere between 3:20 to 3:40, you may naturally come awake. Even if you may have slept a little later, you will see that at least during this time your system may just suddenly come awake because certain changes happen in the system because of the way the sun's rays are hitting the earth. So this is specifically for for certain latitudes up to 33 degrees. I think he was mentioning it is only up to that latitude, and it may not hold good for other regions. But because in this particular region, which is between that latitude, at Brahma Muhurtam time, the way the sun's rays hit the sun, certain physiological changes happen in the system, and people wanted to make use of this. People wanted to make use of Brahma Muhurtam. Even otherwise, even if you are outside this region, you can still make use of Brahma Muhurtam because the time before sunrise, that's especially 1.5 2 hours before sunrise, you will see that it is very conducive for doing one's sadhana or yogic practices. There's hardly any disturbance, and it will be very easy for you to turn your focus inwards. So simple ways in terms of how you can get up at Brahma Muhurtam, we'll look at in the next video. But for now, for those of you who are able to make use of it, and have you noticed this, that between 3:20 to 3:40 you suddenly come awake, your system suddenly comes awake. If you have been able to notice this and if it's happening naturally for you, please do share with us how your experience has been. And we also do a program where we assist people in getting up at Brahma Muhurtam. It's called as Dujas program, which happens online for 21 days, where the whole program is structured so that it starts at Brahma Muhurtam time. So it starts around 3:30 in the morning. For about 1 to 1.5 hours, we do the session for 21 days, which gives people enough time to make this a part of their sadhana. So we generally do this in about 5 to 6 months once, this kind of a program. So I will share the link to that in the comment section for you to, if you wish to check out more details about the same. We do it during Brahma Muhurtam Indian time generally, but we have people joining from other time zones as well, and then they attempt to get up at Brahma Muhurtam in their time zone. So if you can just wake up early at Brahma Muhurtam, you will see you have enough time for a sadhana, for whatever practices you have learned. For most of us, we tend to run out of time, but if you just manage to get up at that time, you will see you will have enough time for your practices. And Sadhguru was mentioning this, that if you can do something which you have been initiated for, it will bear maximum fruit during this particular time. So for example, if you have been initiated into Shambhavi or Shakti Chalana Kriya or Samyama practices or breath watching, etc. So if doing something which you have been initiated for during Brahma Muhurtam will bear maximum fruit. You can still stick to the same order of practices which you have learned. At least doing some practice during this particular time, it will be very, very conducive. He was mentioning for those who have not been initiated yet into a spiritual practice, then more than the Brahma Muhurtam times, Sandhya Kalas can be more effective. We'll speak about Sandhya Kalas in another video where you can see how you can make use of this. So please share with us how your experience has been, and we look forward to hear from you. Namaskaram.